The Detroit Lions just went down on Sunday Night Football to the Philadelphia Eagles, which means the Bears are in first place. Welcome into Chicago Bears Now. My name is Harrison Graham. We'll take a look at the updated NFC North and NFC Playoff Picture, talk a little Bears football as well, and some big news regarding the Bears' next opponent when it comes to Aaron Rodgers. So we will get into all of that here on the program. But guys, we're getting close to 140,000 subs. A lot of new subscribers today. If you're new, welcome. Hit the notification bell. That way you never miss a button, never miss a video. Saying words that don't make sense. Subscribe, turn on notifications. Really help support the show. That's what I'm trying to say. It's free. If you subscribe, go ahead and hit that bell icon. All right. Hello, first place. Feels good. It feels really, really good, doesn't it? And listen, there's a long way to go here. But if you would have told me that the Bears would be in first place through week 11, I mean, are you kidding me? We wouldn't say how. We would just say, sign me up. I'm in. Awesome. The Bears are 7-3. The Packers are 6-3-1. And the Lions are 6-4, while the Vikings are 4-6. Pivotal swing game today. We talked about it all week. If you can beat the Vikings, it does two things. One, you have a real chance of being in first place because Detroit had a tough matchup with Philly tonight, which they just lost in a slugfest, 16-9. And two, it kind of puts Minnesota away. You know, there's a world Minnesota gets back into it, at least from a wild card standpoint, but they've got an uphill battle ahead of them. Let's be honest. They've got some work to do if they're going to get back into the mix. I mean, just glorious. Absolutely glorious. You play Green Bay twice, Detroit once, so you still have a lot of key head-to-head matchups here, but to be in first place in the NFC North through week 11 is freaking awesome. It's a testament to Ben Johnson, the culture he's built, the belief he's built in these players. I mean, it's really, really impressive. I mean, that win today is another example. A lot of mistakes. Kind of felt like they were going to find a way to lose, but no, they find a way to win. The Bears are 5-1 in one-score games this year. You got to give them credit. They've won 7 out of 8 games since starting 0-2. It's a hell of a job by Ben Johnson. It's a hell of a job by Dennis Allen. It's a hell of a job by these players, the rest of this coaching staff. Gutsy win today, even though it was ugly at times. And you watch the Lions tonight in Philadelphia, and don't get me wrong, super windy, a little chilly, but man, Jared Goff could not get going. They were, 0 for 5, 0 for 6 on fourth down. Not pretty. No touchdowns for Detroit tonight. You know, Dan Campbell took over play calling, and last week it looked pretty good, right? Well, a beat-up Commanders defense versus the Eagles, that's kind of a different deal. And Vic Fangio won the battle of that chess match tonight. But even the Eagles, I mean, I'm not saying I'd pick the Bears to beat the Eagles in a couple of weeks, but they don't feel unbeatable. My point in all this is, are the Bears a great team? Probably not, but no team in the NFC right now feels indestructible. I would say after what I saw tonight, the Rams and the Seahawks feel like the two best teams. Philly's probably right there. And then after that, it's like, okay, who plays well that day? That's kind of how I feel. So just enjoy this, man. Bears are the 3 seed in the NFC. They're a game back of the Rams and the Eagles, who are both 8-2. The Buccaneers at 6-4. They lost again, so the Bears jump them in terms of the division standing situation. Pretty awesome, man. Pretty awesome. And how about this? As of now, and I'll make sure this is updated. Yeah, it's definitely right. The Detroit Lions would not be in the postseason. The Packers would be the 6th seed at 6-3-1. The 49ers, the 7th seed at 7-4. The Lions, the 8th seed at 6-4. So Detroit's got some work to do. Obviously, we got a long way to go here. You know, you win one game, you lose one game. You can move up or down multiple spots in the NFC. That's how nip and tuck it is right now. But the Bears, 7 out of 8. In a really good position, and now they host the Steelers next week. But will it be Aaron Rodgers? We will talk about that coming up here in just a moment with some more news to cover for you guys. But tonight's show is brought to you by PrizePicks. The hard-hitting football action is even better with PrizePicks. The weather might be changing, but the feeling of being right never gets old. So keep the season rolling on PrizePicks by getting $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. I had an awesome two-player lineup earlier today. I took more on Caleb Williams, 20.5 rushing yards. He rushed for 26. I took less on J.J. McCarthy's 212.5 passing yards. He threw for, I think, 150. Easy hit there, $20 lineup to win $60. That's an example of what a PrizePicks lineup looks like. You just take more or less on stat projections, and if you hit, you win money. You can go flex play if you want, which means you can miss up to once in your lineup and still make money, or you can go for the power play, which is all or nothing, which increases your payout. How you play on PrizePicks is totally up to you. All sports available, tons of stats available. Check it out today. Download the PrizePicks app right now. Use our code CLNS to get $50 in lineups once you play your first $5 lineup. That is code CLNS to get $50 in lineups once you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, it is good to be right. All right, Aaron Rodgers left today's game with a left wrist injury, did not return. Mason Rudolph played the rest of the way. And Adam Schefter reported a few hours ago, I put a YouTube short out on this, it was right around Sunday Night Football kicking off, that Rodgers suffered what Schefter is reporting is a slight break in his left wrist. Now, Ian Rappaport and Tom Pelissero said it's not considered long-term and that he's going to undergo further testing. So I wouldn't say we should rule him out for this game against the Bears, although Schefter did add it's looking more likely that Mason Rudolph will start in Chicago. And, I've got a lot of thoughts on this. I got a lot of, I don't know if emotion's the right word, but just kind of different thoughts scrambling in the brain of a couple things. One, just from a sentimental standpoint, it would be kind of a bummer if Aaron Rodgers missed his last game at Soldier Field, would it not? Now, I'm not going to shed a tear for the guy. Don't get me wrong, I can't stand him, but wouldn't you rather beat this guy? I want, when the schedule came out, I was like, I want to beat Rodgers. I want to win that game. Now, look, if he doesn't play and you beat Mason Rudolph, so be it. I'm not going to lose sleep over it, but that is one thing that I will say. And, it's just, you'd like to see him play at Soldier Field one more time, and this time the Bears to get revenge, right? They've kind of been on this revenge tour, right? They avenged last year's loss to Washington. They just avenged the week 1 loss to Minnesota. The Joe Flacco theme from a couple of years ago, they get him back this year. There's been a few of these this year, and beating Aaron Rodgers at Soldier Field would have been another one. But, it may not be meant to be. Now, it is his non-throwing hand, so I do wonder if he could play through it. But if he does need a procedure and has to wear a cast, then he can't take a snap. Now, he could play, they could put a soft cast on, and maybe he could play exclusively from the shotgun, but maybe Pittsburgh just opts to give him a week off. We'll have to wait and see. I'll say this, though, if you're the Steelers, you're only a game up on Baltimore all of a sudden. The Ravens have won 4 in a row. The Steelers did win today, but they're only 6-4. Baltimore's 5-5. So if Rodgers can go, you would think that you would play him, but if he can't grip the ball with his left hand, then he may have to sit a week. So we'll see what happens. You would think he would give everything he could to play in this game. You would think he'd want to be out there, just number one for his team, but also at Soldier Field. This game would mean something to him. So we'll see what happens as the week goes on. But right now, it seems like it's more likely than not that he won't play. So we will continue to monitor that situation. All right, before we get out of here, just some kind of final thoughts from the game earlier today as the Bears did beat the Vikings 19-17. In the moment, and we're all guilty of this, I certainly am, frustrating game, right? That's a game you should have put away earlier. But I do think after you have a few hours and you can reflect further and you watch some of these other games, the Rams beat the Seahawks 21-19 at home, and Sam Darnold threw 4 picks, and they had a 60-yarder to pull off the win. They missed it. The Rams ended up winning, but you're kind of like, golly, how demoralizing would that have been for the Rams? And the reason I bring that up is and I got to remind myself of this, it's hard in the moment, but let's appreciate winning. It is hard to win. We as Bears fans should know that. You longtime Bears fans should really know that. Don't get me wrong. Do they got to find a way to put away opponents when the opportunity is there to do so? Absolutely. but that's a division game on the road. Brian Flores blitzed 78% of the time. I mean, they threw the kitchen sink at Caleb Williams, and, you found a way to win. You found a way to win. Ben Johnson said after the game in the locker room, he said, that was just like week one, except we made the winning play this time. And you got to take that for what it's worth. Look, the goal is always to win the Super Bowl, but the realistic goal this year is not to win the Super Bowl. It's to learn how to win, and they're learning how to win. They're 5-1 in one-score games. They've won 7 out of 8. So there's way more positives than negatives. Again, and I'll continue to harp on this, the beauty is they can be a lot better. Like, they've had a few games here where, like, if they just click on a couple different things, they could be blowing out some of these teams. So, you can look at that half glass full, half glass empty. I think the half glass full approach is the way to go, and really the way we should go with this team. I mean, you're 7-3. You're in first place in the NFC North heading into Week 12. I mean, that's a huge accomplishment. Now, you don't want to lose 7 in a row or something like that, but, like, chances are, at minimum, you're going to get into the last couple of games with the chance to make the playoffs. If not, just be a playoff team. And then, who knows? You get in, you never know what could happen. So I'm pretty fired up, man. It's exciting times right now. The vibes are good. This team is rolling in terms of just winning games. Again, it's not pretty every week, but, man, it's been a fun ride so far this season. So enjoy it, Bears fans. All right, that's going to do it. First place, Bears. How does that sound? Get the ones down in the comments section. Type those ones for first place. Hopefully it continues. We will be back tomorrow, a little overreaction Monday morning video. Then we'll have our Victory Monday live stream, probably about 4 o'clock Central Time like we normally do. So be sure to subscribe and join us for that. My name is Harrison Graham. We will see you guys soon.